Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's Oculus Rift adventure continues with Chapter 2 by Felix and Paul. The summary reads, Blue scours for food and signs of life as a volcanic eruption begins to take its toll on Isla Nublar. The fight for survival reaches a dangerous climax when two predators get in her way. So which two predators could this be? We've seen the Carnotaurus featured in the trailer as well as the Allosaurus, or maybe it could be the Carnotaurus and the T-Rex. Well, let's see. Starting with the opening scene. The volcano has erupted, and Blue looks as confused as we would feel in the situation. You can see her playing her role as the opportunist as she tries to scavenge any meat left off the bones of this poor dino soul. At this point, Blue is being very cautious, as her visibility is cut down dangerously low due to the smoke and ash. You can also see how desperate she is for food, although the model that they chose to use in this game of Blue is not as gaunt as the one that we see in the trailer. Her luck seems to be in her favor as she encounters the nest of eggs. She seems to be so preoccupied with scavenging for food that it takes her a while to process the oncoming danger. That segment of the Baryonyx making a slow and steady appearance through the big cloud of ash and debris is terrifying. Blue must be severely disoriented or desperate to face off against this thing. If she was with a raptor pack, that would be one thing, but the Baryonyx is significantly larger than she is. She's clearly not firing all 6 cylinders because instead of running away and trying a more intelligent tactic, she goes head to head with the Baryonyx, who we can clearly see is defending its nest. Hearing the commotion from close by, Rexy comes to investigate and finds it a pleasant surprise that a big tasty morsel has dropped right in her line of sight. Or in her line of bite. The Baryonyx does not flee, however, because she has a nest to protect. Rexy notices Blue, or sort of kinda does, but she doesn't really see her as a threat, and probably doesn't see her at all. We know that Rexy has bad eyesight, and if you want to get more info on that, you can see our video in the card. It makes it worse that these are foggy conditions. So, a T-Rex with bad eyesight that's vision is based on movement is now in an environment that has decreased visibility even more. This probably explained why she was roaring in Blue's direction to see if something runs away or moves quickly. But her eyes also never seem to focus on Blue. Unfortunately for the poor Baryonyx mother trying to protect her nest, she charges for Rexy and, like a bag of dust, is thrown harshly to the side. Already malnourished and probably sick and disoriented, the crash in the fall from such a height knocked her out. Right after this, it seems as though Blue is trying to defend the Baryonyx, and an iconic scene that looks like it's replaying the one from Jurassic Park, the first movie at the end. But what Blue is actually trying to defend is the nest that she believes Rexy is now going to devour. In Blue's mind, she found that food first. The only reason Blue would take on Rexy, knowing full well this predator can mutilate her in seconds, is because she's desperately hungry, even though Rexy looks worse for wear. It is so apparent that even after Rexy throws Blue to the ground that she can't see her. It's as though Rexy is completely blinded by the conditions. The Baryonyx was a bigger subject, and so Rexy could hear and see it a little bit better. However, Blue is very low to the ground, and from Rexy's standpoint, looking down at the ground probably is the equivalent of looking at the floor covered in a smoky film of dry ice or something. Before Rexy can make a move, or while she's waiting to see where the next attack is going to come from, she and Blue hear the oncoming helicopters. Again, drawn to the noise, Rexy follows. She's heard this noise before and knows that it means food. It's a familiar noise, and right now Rexy just wants to find anything that's familiar, so she follows it, very weakly. Blue probably heard this noise a lot too, but she's more reluctant to follow. Besides, now that Rexy has gone, Blue has to seize the opportunity to feed on the eggs before the Baryonyx wakes up again. It would be a very sad situation for the Baryonyx to get up and find all her babies dead. They probably would not be saved anyway, but this also begs the question as to whether or not they're actually 2 Baryonyx. Remember in the trailer TV spot, we see the Baryonyx chasing after Franklin and Claire. Lava fell on its head, and it got locked in the tunnel underground area. So how is it that we see it being flown away on a chopper shortly after in other segments of the trailer? Is it possible that there are more than one Baryonyx and the one that they grabbed was the female or the male? We're a little unsure as to how much of this Oculus game follows along the narrative of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We're also pretty confident that the movie is not going to particularly focus on the perspective of the dinosaurs, so chances are we're not going to get all the answers to these questions. I don't know how far they're going to go with this game, but I do hope that they show at least a part with Owen reuniting with Blue. That would be the ultimate way to end on a happy note. As we've said before in our previous videos, there's a lot of content to be had if things were told from the perspective of the dinosaurs, and based on the logo at the beginning of the game saying Blue right underneath it, probably means that they're going to be telling the story from different dinosaurs' perspectives. Speaking of which, if you want to see a concept of a story told from the perspective of one of the main dinosaurs of the franchise, check out our video in the card right now about Rexy's time as a hatchling. This is all conjecture, of course, but it's still fun to imagine. Also, if you want to see a direct playthrough of this short chapter, check out Best in Slots video. The link will be in the description as well as the card. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Altiori. You ask, we answer.